to my channel, Plastic Badger. I am Plastic Badger, and this is my very first video on this channel. I have had this YouTube channel since 2016, but I've pretty much just used it mainly to watch videos and, you know, other people's reviews and everything. So this is my first outing, and yes, once again, it is another person doing their version of figure reviews. I most likely will not be doing a whole lot of brand new figure reviews. These are mainly just going to be figures out of my collection, and I just want to talk about them a little bit and just kind of, you know, show the figures off in my collection, and you know, just talk about the things I like and what I dislike about them. So yeah, if you're here, thank you for finding me, and thank you for watching already. Hopefully I can, you know, entertain you a little bit and get you to stick around and subscribe and, you know, maybe like this video. So without further ado, I would like to introduce SXS Hot Flame. This is the very first third-party figure I ever purchased. When I first saw him, God, I don't know, years ago when they first revealed that they were doing him, or they were creating him, I was immediately like just blown away. I just liked the way he looked and everything. And, you know, I wasn't even collecting third party at that time. As a matter of fact, I mean, like I said, he was the first third party figure I ever got. And it took me years to get him, because I had been searching, trying to find him. I had seen him at one point on Big Bad Toy Store, and I just didn't have the funds at that time to get him. And by the time I got around to finally, like, you know, okay, yeah, let's get him, I had to watch a ton of reviews, as many reviews as I could, because, you know, I'm one of those people that, like, I like to know what I'm getting into. So I try to watch as many reviews and read as many reviews as possible. So by the time I finally had made the decision that, yeah, I'm going to get him, he had already sold out at Big Bad Toy Store. So I waited around for a while, just searching and searching, and I finally ended up stumbling across the Chosen Prime, and they had him on sale for like $65. So I was like, you know, hey, yeah, I'm down. I'm getting it. So I think, if I remember right, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I ordered him immediately. Like, I'm not going to sleep on him anymore. I mean, because my biggest problem was, like, or my biggest deal was the fact that they also have the Mastermind Creations Calidus, and I'm not going to lie, I really like the way that he looks too. It's just that, you know, when it comes down to aesthetics for me, I feel like that this is a better representation of Hot Rod, because, you know, he's more sleek, he's thinner, he's got more of, like, kind of that athletic body, that sleek, fast body, whereas, like, Calidus is kind of just seems a little bit more bulky. That being said, though, I do have a pre-order in through the Chosen Prime for the reissue of Calidus, because even after getting this one, I still want to get the Calidus, because, I mean, I'm one of those guys, I cannot have enough Rodimus Prime or Rodimus in my collection. He's one of my favorite characters. Despite being the one responsible for Optimus Prime getting killed, I still, you know, just really like the guy and really like the character. And it took me a while before I started reading the IDW stuff, but I really like what they're doing with him in IDW. I like his characterization. Yeah, they've really expanded on who he is and how he is. Yeah, so anyway, moving on. The figure, he is, I wouldn't say he's a solid figure. I mean, design-wise, he is a solid figure. I'll be honest, I'm not one of those guys that, I do not transform my figures. I get them as a robot. I might transform them once or twice just to get a feel for the transformation. But when it comes to display, I always display them in robot form. When I go to purchase, I always purchase based on how the robot form looks. I like giant robots. I'm a robot guy, And so that's why I purchased my Transformers, is because I want them to be robots. I even have Transformers that do not transform, and I got them just specifically because of how faithful they are to the design of the characters for whatever reason. I'll probably show off, or I definitely will show off a little later on in my reviews. I have the Hot Flame model kits that I bought that are based on the IDW designs, and I'll show those off and talk about those in another review. But as far as Hot Flame goes, very faithful representation, I feel, to the Rodimus in IDW. I don't know what else I can say about this guy. Even the transformation, when I did transform him, very easy. I don't have any problems with it. It was pretty intuitive. I didn't even need instructions to do it. Most of the time, I don't even care for the instructions. I like figuring out. It's kind of like a Rubik's Cube to me. I like to figure out myself, and if it takes me a little while to sit down there and figure out how it transforms, then it takes me a while. Part of the fun is just sitting fiddling with it and learning what bends and what doesn't. Unfortunately, I've found on a couple of my figures where it doesn't bend and it cost me. But yeah, so his transformation's not that bad. The figure itself is really well. The one of the complaints I do have about him is the fact that his legs are really loose. These ankle joints, they're really loose. So I mean, I don't want to say really loose. I guess I'm exaggerating a little bit. They are loose, so it is one of those things where you got to kind of fiddle with him to get him to stand up. And of course, like I said, his legs just feel kind of flimsy and loose. I don't have any problems with him falling over or falling down when I put him on the shelf. And as you can see, I mean, like, I just slapped him down right there and he stands right up. So, I mean, it's not a big complaint. The other thing I have is his shoulders are really squeaky, really tight. But I mean, like, once again, I watched a lot of reviews, and that's a pretty common complaint with Hot Flame, is those tight shoulders. So you just got to really be careful when you're bending the arms, if you're bending the arms or whatnot. Like I said, I don't do transformations. I do a lot of, like, I will do figure photography. Hopefully, I plan on this summer, now that I have a little bit more time and I'm out of the semester, I will be doing a little bit more figure photography with him. Yeah, so shoulders, wobbly legs. The last point I want to talk about is his faceplate. When you go to swap out these faceplates, I think he came with 3 different faceplates. One was a serious face, one was a smile, and I think the other one was a smirk, maybe. But when you're changing these out, the plate itself, you have to, like, basically pull it down, pull it out, and there's no way of getting your fingers in there to really get a hold of it. So it's really difficult to get a hold of, to pull out, to pull the faceplate out. And yeah, so in the process of switching out the faceplates on the first round, because when he came out of the package, he had the serious face on, and I'm like, that's just not Rodimus to me. So in the process of trying to switch out those faces, I ended up scratching one of the faceplates and gave him a really big scar down his left side. And because the faceplate underneath the paint is orange, he now has an orange scar going down the side of his face, which, I mean, granted, it looks pretty badass. I mean, for the character, it looks pretty badass. I'm just not I just don't want my guy with a scar on his face. I don't want to display my character with a scar on his face. So he's pretty much going to be stuck with the grinning face for as long as I own him, because I do not want to go through the process of changing out those faceplates again. What more can I say about Hot Flame here? I don't know. It's a great design. Both the vehicle mode and the robot mode, especially the robot mode. I freaking... Oh, yeah, there you go. All the joints are tight. I mean, except for these ankle joints for some reason. But, yeah, all the joints are pretty tight. But yeah, it's a great figure. If you can find one, if you can still find one, I highly suggest getting him. If you only had the money and it came down between Calidus or Hot Flame, that's a really, really tough situation or place to be in. I would go with Hot Flame just because I feel like he's a more faithful representation to like the artwork in IDW, or at least one of the artists' artwork. I think it's Alex Milne is the one that draws him like this. Yeah, so if it was Calidus, Mastermind Creation Calidus, or SXS Hot Flame, I would go with Hot Flame every time. It's just me. Yeah, so other than that, like I said, if you can find them, definitely worth picking up. I will say this, I wouldn't pay more than $100. Like I said, I found him on Chosen Prime, and he was on sale for like $65, which was a great price for him. But yeah, definitely not more than $100 figure. That's a little bit too much. But yeah, the Autobot symbol, of course, got the labels from Toy Hacks. They have a lot of decals and repro labels on their site. So if you haven't checked out Toy Hacks, toyhacks.com, yeah, check them out. They got a lot of different decals and everything available. I had to buy a bunch of Autobot symbols to slap on all of my figures, because all I have in my collection are mainly third party. I do have a couple masterpiece figures, a few knockoffs, very few actual Takara Tomy. We'll get into my feelings about Takara Tomy a little later on, in another video. But yeah, that's about it. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. If you do, give me a like, and be sure to subscribe if you enjoy toy content, action figure content, Transformer content, third-party content. I do plan on putting up more videos. Hopefully, if I can, I will do a video weekly, sometimes more than weekly. Just whenever I get the chance, I plan on putting up videos. Thank you for watching my first video on YouTube, and hopefully you guys don't blast me too hard in the comments. I'm trying, guys. I'm not a professional at this. So anyway, hope you enjoy it. Give me a like on Instagram, Plastic Badger. Give me a subscribe, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching.